welcome into this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cobo. Joining me, as usual, my guy out in Tennessee, Max Faulkner. Max, what's that new beat I hear?
Oh, man, isn't that a sick beat to get us going, Cole Breezy? We finally have some background music, an intro and an outro song to our show. A big addition, wouldn't you say so, Cole Breezy?
I think it adds a little touch to it, little by little. We're not getting greedy, we're not rushing anything, but little by little we're adding things.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So hope you guys appreciate that beat.
Yeah, I hope you were dancing a little bit, getting you loose while you crack one open as we jump into some fun sports, because we got some good things to talk about today, Go Breezy. We got college basketball. Oh my goodness, tip-off happened last week.
Tip-off happened 2 nights ago. Yes,
on Monday
night. And so we got anxious, we got excited, and we're gonna have a whole preview pod right now of college basketball. We're gonna be predicting Final Four teams, All-American teams, Coach of the Year. We're gonna be talking about a lot of players, making a lot of predictions. But you know what? We're still gonna be making our NFL game picks for the Week 10 slate. Okay, we'll be doing that at the end, along with our extra juicy dogs, because that's a juicy segment to finish. On the week.
Oh yeah.
But Max, let's start with Purdue. They took on Samford on Monday night, not Stanford, not the Tree Huggers.
Oh yeah,
Pac-12. Samford. They beat them 98-45. Max, did you see the tip-off? Did you see the opening tip?
That guy was at Zach Edey's knees. All right. They were obviously joking around and what they were trying to do. I mean, actually, a little strategic when you think about it. They were trying to tip it to one of the guards. They would get it to the short guy right after that, and they were going to run with it. Didn't work out for you, but I see what they were trying to do. But oh my goodness, Cole Breezy, me being a huge Purdue Boilers fan, you got to be ecstatic. Everyone in the Big Ten, anyone that is a Purdue fan, you got to be ecstatic about 98 points in a complete blowout. I get it. Samford isn't, it's not an elite team or anything. Don't get me wrong. But when you blow out a team by 53 points, oh my goodness, did the offense look good?
The offense was humming. The game started 21-2, Purdue leading. And, I watched maybe the first 8 minutes of this game because, Notre Dame came on, Monday Night Football came on, Kansas came on. It was a bonanza on Monday night. Purdue didn't make it past 8 minutes for me. But one thing that did stick out to me, Max, was Trey Kaufman-Renn started at the 4 over Caleb Furst and Mason Gillis. That surprised me. What do you think about that?
I think that the fact that they are coming off of the bench just shows how deep Purdue is. Kaufman-Renn is actually really good. He actually can score the ball. He's tall, gets rebounds, and he plays defense. But then you got Mason Gillis and Caleb Furst coming off the bench. Oh my God. Mason Gillis might be the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. I'm gonna say it right here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I can see it. I have never seen a guy play as hard of defense than Mason Gillis. So this is a guy that dives on the floor for everything. Okay. When you see him go up like against big guys, how his hands go straight up. Like, I don't know how much straighter.
Fundamentals.
How straight can you get, man? That guy does a lot of shoulder press, a lot of clean and jerks. I'll tell you that much. And he's jacked. Oh my goodness. Purdue is deep. They got a hell of a starting 5. And then I'm talking 8, 9 guys off the bench.
Ethan Morton
coming off too. Oh my dude, he plays lockdown defense. So he already had a couple steals in the game as well. Oh my goodness. I'm excited.
Speaking of your Boilers defense, they held Samford to 25% shooting from the field and 16% from 3. Purdue was plus 21 on the boards, plus 18 in assists, and 10-0 in blocks. It was a complete ass whipping. Purdue's gonna be top 5, top 10 all year, I think.
I think so too, especially when you have Zach Edey down low in the middle, reigning Player of the Year. Ooh, my goodness. I could see it happening again.
Let's move over to Lawrence, Kansas, and the Kansas Jayhawks, because they also opened up on Monday night with a 99-56 ass whipping of North Carolina Central. Okay, North Carolina Central. Big Hunter Dickinson, the transfer from Michigan. He had 7 points in the first 78 seconds. 7 points in the first minute and a half. Okay, he was ready to go. Kansas was 9 of 12 from 3 in the first half. 9 of 12 from deep. Shooting into an ocean. Had 21 assists at halftime. That tied a program record. 21 assists in a half. Ended the game with 34 assists on 39 made field goals. 34 assists on 39 shots. That's sharing the ball. That's team basketball. Kansas shot 70% from the field. 70% from the field, 13 for 23 from 3, plus 14 on the boards, 34-7 in assists. My guy, DeJuan Harris, the point guard, he had 10 assists.
Very good.
Didn't attempt a shot. He had 10 assists in this game.
I respect that.
Yeah,
okay, that's a true point guard. You don't see that anymore. Definitely not. No.
Hunter Dickinson, the big dog. Going to be talking about him a lot this year. Finished the game with 21 points, 8 boards, 5 assists. Shot 8 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 3 from deep. Kansas is looking pretty good, Max. Did you catch any of this game? Did you see any stats?
I didn't see a damn thing because I didn't need to. Okay. Everything that you just tossed out. Actually, there are some surprises that you had on that. Make the 21 assists at halftime, 10 assists by Harris. Those are big time numbers. I expected from Hunter Dickinson. Is he your number one option, Cobrizi, on Kansas?
Oh, no doubt about it.
Oh my,
no doubt about it.
I really hope in that Maui Invitational coming up, Purdue, Kansas in that championship game. I want to see it. Hunter Dickinson and Edey going at it just like they did with Michigan versus Purdue. Ooh-wee.
Oh my goodness.
I can only pray for that.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for a future episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, because we will be breaking down that Maui Invitational. It is juicy.
It might be one of the best Maui tournaments that I might have ever seen. Honestly, it's just stacked with teams.
Max, let's move over now to East Lansing, Michigan, because the Michigan State Spartans had a big upset. Big upset on Monday night. James Madison, the only reason I know them is because of their football team, but their basketball team this week, they won 79-76 in overtime in the Breslin Center. This was James Madison's second ever win over a ranked team in program history. Second ever time they ever beat a ranked team. Here's 2 nuggets that are pretty juicy here. I got to credit Matt Norlander, CBS. This was Tom Izzo's first home loss in November in his career.
Oh, wow.
First home loss ever in the month of November for Tom Izzo. And this was also the Spartans' first home loss in the month of November since 1986. They haven't lost a home game in the month of November since 1986, Max. Wow. Holy moly. Outside of Tyson Walker, who balled out, no other starter scored in double figures. Tyson Walker had 35 points.
Yeah.
He missed 6 free throws, though. That
was huge towards the end of the game, too. That guy was stepping up, and those free throws were way off. Okay.
Clankers.
Bricks. Building a house. Okay. Building a house. Who is supplying the cement? I don't even know. I don't know.
Tom Izzo. Here's the biggest stat from the game for me. The Michigan State Spartans against James Madison shot 1 for 20 from 3. 1 for 20. That's 5%. You're not going to win a lot of games doing that. Tom Izzo, after the game, he said he's got a leadership problem, Max. That's a big deal. He's got a leadership problem. He's not afraid to play the freshman. Michigan State, they play Southern Indiana this Thursday before the Big Champions Classic showdown with Duke next week. What's going to happen here moving forward with Michigan State? Are they okay? Is this just a blunder? And that Tom Izzo's going to turn this around, or is this going to be a losing streak here and maybe a tough season for Michigan State?
All right. Couple of directions I want to go with this, but the first direction I'm going to say is something I don't think is going to happen, but we might as well bring it up now. Are we going to see a team that has seniors, that has a team that is coming back play like UNC played last season, where
Mm.
everyone came back from that championship game. We thought that they were going to be, they might have been ranked number one preseason or something like that. Yeah, to start the season last year, and then
Number
didn't even make
one.
the dance.
Number
I
one.
find it hard to believe, but what do you think, Cole Breezy? Do you think this is, I mean, without any leadership that Izzo was saying?
He's saying he's got no leadership. He starts 4 seniors and a junior. So goodness, if you don't have leadership with them,
What?
I am nervous.
Yeah.
But the amount of respect I have for Tom Izzo, I mean, I think he's a top 3 coach in the nation.
He's easily
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He turns this around. They make the dance. But you know, against Duke next week, you're gonna have to show me something because the Big Ten's always gonna be a grinded out conference. You're gonna have to earn your wins in that conference. So
no doubt. I expect Michigan State to wake up. You know, if you haven't noticed, they actually start out slow. They always do. They're never like that top 5 team. They're always ranked top 5, top 10. They lose. They go in like the 20s, and then towards the end of the season, they just pick it up. They always pick it up, and especially when they get into the dance, and you'll see this is a team that easily can get into the Elite 8 this year. I mean, come on, 4 seniors and a junior. Come on. Like this is the team that's been together for a while. They're going to figure it out. And I expect the game next week against Duke. That is going to be juicy. Don't expect if it's an overtime game, I mean, I'll be excited about it, obviously, but I wouldn't expect a heartbreaking loss like James Madison.
Looking at James Madison to finish up this talk, I'm going to predict right now they win the Sun Belt Conference. We're going to see these boys in March. Max, the Sun Belt consists of Appalachian State, Coastal Carolina, Louisiana, Marshall, Old Dominion, Southern Miss, Troy, Arkansas State, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, South Alabama, Texas State, and Louisiana Monroe. Are you going to put the Dukes of James Madison in an early tournament bracket here in November?
I will say they played fantastic last game. The momentum was on their side. They played hard defense too. The game was so much fun because it reminded me of the tournament. It really did. I was like, is it March Madness? Is it March already? Are we in March? It was a really fun game. And hey, I would hope so. After beating Michigan State, they might even be ranked this next week. Maybe.
Yeah, I think they could be the Sun Belt winners this year, the Dukes of James Madison. Moving along here for some college basketball talk on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast. I got a little nugget here, Max. We got to pick a team. You know, we just talked about Michigan State losing this big game. We talked about the North Carolina Tar Heels last year, bringing everybody back, preseason number 1. Guess what? They didn't make the tournament. And right now we want to talk about how each of the last 4 seasons, a team ranked in the top 13 of the AP preseason poll has gone on to miss the dance. Has gone on to miss the tournament. A team ranked in the top 13 of this preseason poll that we have right now, the last 4 years, there's been one team to not make the tournament. And right now, just going to have a little fun, pick a team. We just talked about Michigan State, that they could be ripe for the picking right now. I don't think either of us is going to take them because of that respect for Tom Izzo.
No way.
I'm going to go, though, with everybody's Cinderella love story from last season, the FAU Owls, the Florida Atlantic Owls. They're ranked number 10 going into this season. They returned everybody besides their 6th man. I hate to do this. You're looking at all these teams and you're like, no way. These guys, it's a top 13 team in the nation right now. So how can you pick any of them? So just having a little fun. I'm going FAU. Their biggest non-conference games this season are against Illinois and Arizona on neutral courts. They get either of those, they're probably in, but they lose both of those, maybe slip up another non-conference game, maybe lose one to Memphis in the regular season, lose the tournament championship to maybe Memphis again. These guys could maybe be on the bubble come March.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting it, but if I had to pick a team in the top 13 of this AP preseason poll to not make the dance, I'm going the Florida Atlantic Owls. What do you think, Max?
I out of those 13 teams, that's probably the team that you would look at because all the other teams make the dance on the regular. Okay, FAU, everyone knows. They're like, wait, who the Owls? Who the hell are they? They had an incredible Cinderella run. I think that's the biggest bet. But considering that everyone is coming back, why not? Why wouldn't this team go 30-3 again like they did last year, or even better? So I'm rooting for them. Go Owls.
Go Owls. Go Owls. Moving along here, Max, we want to talk about our first and second team All-Americans. And boy, this is a juicy list. There's, guys got left off this list that are definitely worthy. There's guys that we're not going to talk about that are going to come into the spotlight here in a couple of weeks that we don't have on our list. But Max, give me your first player for your first team All-American list this season.
Do you really got to ask me? Do you really got to ask me? Come on, baby. Come
for
on.
For the people, maybe they don't know you. Maybe it's their first time listening to the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast.
All right. Fair enough. You're right. Fair enough. All right. For the people that have not been listening to the Don't Tell Mom Sports podcast, you're going to soon learn that I am one of the biggest Purdue Boiler basketball fan. My alma mater. I love my Purdue Boilers. Zach Edey is my top dog. Okay, he's the top dog on this first All-American team. Dude, he won Player of the Year last year. He's not going to slow up. He already had 17 and 12 in the first game. He barely played in the second half, just so we are clear. He had like 2 or 3 blocks. Dude, this guy's a stud. A guy that can also step up and hit the free throws because he gets hacked a lot. Okay, scratches up and down his arms. He looks like he needs stitches after each game because how many people are slapping him. But this guy is tough and oh man, I can't express how excited I am about Zach Edey, Cobreezy.
Zach Edey is also on my first team. I heard a comment last night in the couple of minutes I was watching the game. The commentator might have been Robbie Hummel. He said, "Look at Zach Edey's arms. Look how clean they are. Look at him in a couple of months. They're gonna be all scraped up."
He's Zach, right. Good old Robbie Hummel. Robbie. What a great player. Met the guy.
How about that one time we saw him at the bar? What bar was that at Purdue?
Harry's Chocolate Chap. Harry's Chocolate Chap.
Zach Edey last season, 22.3 points, was 6th in the nation, 12.9 boards, 2nd in the nation, 2.1 blocks, 18th in the nation, shot 60.7% from the field. He led college basketball with 27 double-doubles. This is my biggest nugget for you right here, Max. Sports Reference began tracking player efficiency ratings in 2002. Edey's 40.21 player efficiency rating last season was second best ever to Zion.
Oh my goodness.
Zion's freshman year with Duke.
Damn.
So that puts Zach Edey's season last year in perspective. According to Sports Reference, basically the second best season we've seen since 2002.
Freaking love it. You know what I love about Zach Edey too is his demeanor on the court. The guy has no facial expressions. He just plays the damn game. Oh, I love it. I love personalities on the court that are smiling and happy, but he's not one of them. Okay. Don't mess with Zach Edey. Freaking Sanford tried to get into a match with him. Okay.
I saw that.
Yeah. He barely gave a little nudge of this guy. This guy hits the ground, try to get Edey kicked out of the game. And Edey's like, what? Like, get out of here.
That's all you can do. Stop. That's all you can do.
Just flopping like flapjacks.
I'm going to go on to my next guy here on the first team for my All-American list this season for college basketball, and I'm going to my squad. I'm going to the Kansas Jayhawks. Hunter Dickinson, the big dog, transferred from Michigan, 7'2", 260. Oh, boy, that's a lot of beef. Through 3 seasons in Ann Arbor with the Wolverines, he averaged 17.2 points, 8.4 boards, and shot 57% from the field. He said he transferred to Kansas to have a better shot at a title. Love it. To be better prepared for a career in the NBA while also having the potential to earn more NIL money. I guess people were coming to him saying, this guy's getting this much money, this guy's getting this much money, and he thinks he deserves more money. He jumps in the portal. Kansas can offer more. Bill Self says he has never had a player more prepared to succeed going into a season.
Mm-hmm.
Big season coming here for Hunter Dickinson. He's on my first team. Max, where's he at for you?
He's my number 2 guy. Okay, right underneath Edey, dude.
Don't get me worked up.
Dude, Zach Edey and Hunter Dickinson, I brought this up earlier. Michigan versus Purdue, those games are incredible. Okay, I love seeing those 2 guys go against each other because Dickinson can knock down the 3-pointer, But then Edie just
3 to
bodies
3
him up,
Monday.
just bodies him up down low. So Hunter has a hard time guarding him. I want to see these guys face each other again. But yeah, Hunter Dickinson's a stud, and you know he's going to go for Player of the Year as well. I'm excited. I'm excited about this guy.
Give me your next guy on your first team All-American list.
All right, another big man. Okay, all the big guys, which I'm really excited about here because once it gets to the NBA, it's all about the guard play. Okay, or if there's a big man that could shoot the three like Jokic. Okay,
Pace and space. Pace and space.
Yeah, it's all it is. But I got Armando Bacot of North Carolina. Okay, going back to when they made the championship a couple years ago, this guy had a sprained ankle, and he says there's nothing keeping me. Yeah, there was nothing keeping me out of this championship game. He had a sprained ankle. He had 2 days to basically wrap it up. And he says there's nothing keeping me. He went on the court and gave it his all. Probably still put up a double-double. I'm not too sure, but
pretty sure.
What a beast! And even last season, when they were struggling, you could just see his frustration with his team. He is a leader on the court. He was trying to get everyone together and say, "Come on, let's go. What do we like? What are we doing here?" Because everyone was for themselves. Bacot is not for himself. If he was for himself, he would have went to the NBA. He came back because he's like, I want redemption. I want to bring back this team. I want to bring back UNC and thrive. I love Armando Bacot. Cole Breezy, do you got him in your first team?
I also have him in my first team, Max. We talked about him a lot last year. He's kind of our guy here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast. North Carolina preseason number 19, by the way. But Bacot, career averages over his 4 seasons in Chapel Hill. 13.7 points, 10.1 boards on 55.6% shooting. He's North Carolina's career leader in all-time rebounds and double-doubles.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We've talked about it a few times. UNC was preseason number 1 last year. They missed the tourney. Max, does Bacot get him back in there?
Absolutely. They're going to have a better year this year. A couple of the guys that were on that team that were, sadly, it was a selfish team last year. They just got cocky. They're gone. They're gone. I think Leaky Black went to the NBA. Didn't someone else transfer? A big name they transferred.
Leaky Black, definitely not in the NBA. He might be overseas somewhere, but Caleb Love transferred to Arizona.
Yeah. Caleb Love went to Arizona. And then Leaky Black didn't go to the NBA?
Oh, Leaky Black maybe averaged 4 points last year. Leaky Black ain't in the
NBA. My bad, everybody. My bad. It's going to be a better year for UNC, everybody. Expect it.
My next guy on my first team All-American list for the 23-24 college basketball season is the reigning Big East Player of the Year, point guard from Marquette, Tyler Kolek.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Marquette won the regular season and tournament Big East championships last year. They were a 2 seed. Kolek averaged 12.9 points, 7.5 assists. That was good for 3rd in the nation. 4.1 boards, 40% from 3. I like Tyler Kolek. I like Marquette. I respect Shaka Smart.
Yeah.
Going to be another solid year in the Big East. Tyler Kolek, I got him first team. Where you got him, Max?
I got him first team right after Armando Bacot.
4 for 4.
4 for 4. I believe he led the Big East in assists, if I'm not mistaken. This guy is a pure point guard, and he could score. Kind of like a Steve Nash vibe. Knocks down the 3-pointer, but then he'll give you 10 assists. I freaking love the guy. Look out in the Big East. The Big East is good. Okay, they surprised faces last year. They're going to surprise. I'm having trouble here. I'm having some trouble.
You know where you're at. You know where you're
excited. I'm too freaking excited.
I don't believe
it's going to be a good year for Marquette in the Big East.
You had UConn defending champs. Creighton went to the Elite 8 last year. Marquette, Villanova, Xavier, Providence was a tournament team. Butler might be there. Big East, Deaton Hall, St. John's, and Rick Pitino are a guy. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Rick Pitino.
Big East is deep. Give me your last guy for the first team All-American, Max. We're 4 for 4 right now. Could we really be this in sync?
I changed it up. I definitely did. Okay, I went with a curveball. Okay, I didn't want to get the. I wasn't nervous. This guy's good. Okay, this guy's really good. I'm going to Illinois. Terrence Shannon Jr. Okay, nice. This guy is a stud. All right, he's beefy. He could shoot it, and he's got some hops, man. This is a pure scorer. if you don't have him on at least your first two teams, at first or second team, then you're sleeping on him, because Terrence Shannon Jr. is the real deal.
I'm not sleeping on him here. I got him on my second team. It was his first season last year with Illinois after transferring from Texas Tech. So I saw him for at least 2 years playing Kansas every season. So I knew Terrence Shannon back when he was with Texas Tech. Last year, he was first team All Big Ten, 17.2 points a game, 4.6 boards, 2.8 assists. He put his NBA dreams on hold to come back. He's going to put up even bigger numbers this year in Champaign.
Oh, yeah.
I got Terrence Shannon. You know, he used to be known as TJ Shannon when he was with Texas Tech. Goes to Illinois. Now he's Terrence Shannon, first team All Big Ten. I got him second team All American this year.
Very nice.
Who's
your last? Yeah. Go ahead, Cooper.
My last guy for the first team All American this year. This guy also put his NBA dreams on hold. He's coming back to Duke.
Yeah.
7-footer Kyle Filipowski. As a freshman last year, he averaged 15.1 points, 8.9 boards, 44.1% shooting from the floor. ACC Freshman of the Year, first team All ACC, ACC Tournament MVP. Probably was going to be a first-round pick last year, Max. Coming back, he's got some championship aspirations with the Blue Devils. I got Kyle Filipowski first team.
Kyle Filipowski's on my second team. That last spot between Terrence Shannon and Filipowski, I was like, ooh, because I think Terrence Shannon is just a better scorer. I just think that's the reason I went for him. But Kyle Filipowski is the man. The ACC was a little weak last year.
Yeah,
I think they're going to turn it up a little bit. I think Duke's going to be really good. UNC is going to be really good. We'll talk about other teams another time, but it's definitely going to be those as the top two teams for sure. And Kyle Filipowski is going to be the leader of that Duke team.
I think you're not giving enough love to Jim Larinaga's Hurricanes down in South Beach.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Went to the Final Four last year.
Yep.
Let's give Miami a little respect in that ACC. But yeah, those three teams are the three teams in the ACC right now.
Yes.
Give me your next guy on the second team for your All-American list, Max.
Okay. Tossing a guy out there. Okay, he might not be on your guys' second team, but I'm telling you right now, Boo Buie of Northwestern. I cannot believe he came back. I can't believe it. You're shaking your head.
Where's he going?
Well, I don't know. Overseas. Go make some money. Dude, Boo Buie is a leader on the court. Now, he shoots like 90, it seems like 95% from the free throw line. He could shoot the ball. He dishes the ball, and his ball handling is outstanding. He's a pure college player and the best player on Northwestern. With him on the team, I think Northwestern makes the dance again.
Private school Pussycats going to the tournament again. I don't have Boo Buie on my second team or my third team. Boo Buie didn't make my list for this one. A little too much Big Ten for me. But my next guy on my second team All-American list, I think we're being a little disrespectful here. He's the two-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, big man from Creighton, Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, 15.1 points. Defensive Player of the Year. He's still putting up 15 a game, 6.1 boards, 2.1 blocks. He's going to be relied upon more heavily now with Ryan Nembhard transferring to Gonzaga, Arthur Kaluma going to Kansas State. We could see big numbers here from Ryan Kalkbrenner. With the Creighton Blue Jays, I got him on my second team All-American list.
I also have him right after Boo Buie on my list. He should be up there above Boo Buie. I just wrote him down. But Kalkbrenner, awesome on the defensive end. Creighton makes me a little bit nervous with all these transfers. Yeah. I know they're ranked 8th, right? 8th. I think they're ranked that high. 8th. I think they still make the dance, but I think that might be a little too high. Maybe, sorry, Blue Jays out there. Blue Jay fans out there, but this guy's really good. Okay, he is definitely a guy that's going to put the Blue Jays back into the dance.
Give me your next guy on the second team All-American list.
Ooh, I got the guy out of USC, Boogie Ellis. This guy is a scorer. USC is underrated. It seems like they're underrated every year. They always have some big names, and this team. They got some big guys on the team, like some big time names, including Bronny James, whom we don't know whether or not he's going to play because obviously, sadly, of his heart condition that's going on right now. But if these guys can all come together and they play together as a team, like they're not trying to, oh, I'm going to get mine, I'm getting mine. Like they actually play together. Oh man, I think they can surprise some faces.
Yeah, I definitely like USC this year after watching them the other night take down Kansas State, I believe. I also have Boogie Ellis, second team. This is his fifth season of college basketball, first two in Memphis. He has career averages of 12.3 points, 3.2 boards, and 2.2 assists. Those numbers are going to skyrocket this year with Isaiah Collier setting him up. Boogie Ellis, big season coming in Pasadena. I got written here. Don't sleep on USC. Don't sleep on them, Max.
Agreed.
My next guy. Let me see here. I got two guys left here for the second team All-American list. I'll go to Texas. I'll go to Austin, Texas for this one for a transfer. Max Asmus from Oral Roberts. Now let's not forget about this guy. He's a career 20-point scorer over his four seasons with Oral Roberts. 24.5 as a sophomore, 22.8 as a junior, 21.9 as a senior. This is why this is going to ring a bell for you, Max. The 2021 tournament, a 15 seed. They take down 2-seeded Ohio State before knocking off Florida. They became the second ever 15 seed to reach the Sweet 16. At the time, they were the second team to do it. This guy can light it up. He can fill up the box score. He's going to have a lot more potential with a lot more talent around him to put up numbers. Tyrese Hunter, solid point guard, going to be setting him up. Texas could push for a Big 12 title. This is a loaded Big 12. Texas could make a Final Four run. Max Asmus, 20 a game, easy.
Man, nice call on that. He's not on my second team, but he pure scorer.
Mm-hmm. How many guys do you have left on your list,
Max? I got one
team?
more. My last guy, I believe it's Wade Taylor the fourth. Is it Wade? Yeah. Taylor the fourth from Texas A&M, best player on the team. I like Texas A&M. Okay. With Buzz Williams as the Buzz. He's a good coach, man. He always figures it out with his team. They play hard defense. And this guy being the leading scorer of this team, I'm telling you right now, Texas A&M is going to also surprise some faces in the SEC.
I got Wade Taylor, third team. He was first team All SEC last year, 16.3 points, 3.9 assists. Texas A&M returns 8 of their top 9 scorers from a 25-win team that lost the SEC regular season race to Alabama by 1 game. Texas A&M's a solid team. I got Wade Taylor, third team. You got him second. My last guy for the second team All-American list, going back to Lawrence, Kansas. Call me a homer if you want. But the Jayhawks point guard, DeJuan Harris, talked about him already tonight. Didn't even shoot the ball on Monday night. 10 assists in the game. He's the best defensive point guard in the nation. Hands down, best defensive point guard in the nation. He's locking you up. He's the reigning Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Reigning Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Championship winning point guard back in 2022. He was the starting point guard. 6.2 assists last season, was 9th in the nation. I like DeJuan Harris a lot. He's a leader. He's gonna lead us this year.
Definitely on my third team, just so we're clear. But love the guy. Oh man, your Kansas team looks too damn good.
It looks good. It looks deep. Max, we got a couple minutes here. Give me your National Player of the Year for this season. Give them to me.
Not even going to waste time. Back to back, baby. Zach Edey. Let's go. I know it's hard to do. But Zach Edey's going to do it. He's a fan favorite.
You know how hard it is to do. We got a trivia time for you, Max. Trivia time for you. The Naismith National Player of the Year. Can you tell me the last time somebody went back to back? And when was it done?
Oh, could you at least give me when it was done?
Early 80s.
Oh, jeez. Michael Jordan.
That's how rare it was. That's how rare it was. I believe Jordan won in 84. Or, I don't know, but Ralph Sampson for Virginia went back to back. He so it hasn't been done since the early 80s, and so it's crazy to predict. I don't think a lot of players of the year come back to college after winning the award. Usually they go move on. A lot of seniors have won the award. But damn it, Max, I switched here before we got on, and I'm with you. Zach Edey.
Yeah, let's go.
He's the most dominant force in college basketball last season and this season. I need more than 2.1 blocks.
Come on.
You're 7'4". I need
Three to
three and a
four.
half.
Yeah, 3 to 4 blocks. Let's
I
go
need
3 to 4. I hear
three
you.
and a half to 4 from a 7'4" guy. Yeah, he's affecting a lot of shots. He's throwing people off, but I need more swats. I need more fucking pins against the backboard.
Definitely. Catch the
I'm going
ball. Like don't slap it. Just grab it.
two
Just
hands.
catch it.
So I got Zach Edey, the big dog, and the guy that I took, the guy that I switched out is my guy Hunter Dickinson. So I
Yeah,
got
I
him
figured.
runner
I
up.
figured.
But
Yeah.
I'll throw Tyler Kolek in there as a bronze
Huh?
medal winner here for the National Player of the Year. I think Tyler Kolek and Marquette's prime for a big season.
Nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving along here this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. It's a juicy college basketball preview podcast.
Yeah.
Max, let's talk about our Coach of the Year race. Who do you have winning it this year? A lot of good coaches in college basketball. I'd love to do a top 10 with you sometime,
Mm-hmm.
but who do you have winning the award this season?
This one was hard to pick. Okay. But I gotta go back to my alma mater.
Oh, you fucking queef.
Okay.
You're a
All right. I
queef.
am going
You're a
Matt Painter.
queef.
Okay. This is the reason why. All right. First off, I understand. I understand the disappointment that we've had the past couple seasons in the dance. Okay. But did we think that Purdue was going to be a #1 seed last season coming into the year? No,
I believe they were unranked going into the season, maybe
unranked.
preseason 6th in the Big Ten, picked maybe
Yeah.
6th.
Yeah. Unranked. Yeah. And I like what you were saying on that. It might have been lower. End up being a #1 seed going into the dance with a bunch of young bucks. Okay. Young bucks led by Zach Edey as a junior or senior, but now he's a super senior, right? Okay. Matt Painter wants redemption, bro. He wants redemption. He needs redemption. He even came out and apologized and said, "Hey, I've been basically fucking up." All right. And for someone to actually take that step and actually admit that he's doing something wrong, that he needs to step it up a notch.
Yeah.
I love that. He is determined. He is thirsty and hungry at the same time. I hope it's not a salty beef. I don't want him to be too dehydrated when he's on the court, pounding teams. Drink a lot of Gatorade, Matt Painter. I think you can win Coach of the Year.
You drug Matt Painter's name through the fucking dirt last March after that loss.
I was pissed.
After that loss to Fairleigh.
I was definitely pissed.
You cursed his name. Okay.
Hey, maybe me being a Christian, I'm all about forgiveness. Okay.
Redemption.
I believe in forgiveness and redemption. All right.
My Coach of the Year. Talked about this team a little bit already. I'm going to Austin, Texas with Rodney Terry.
Oh.
This guy filled in last season. Remember the Chris Beard incident? He gets relieved of his duties. Rodney Terry steps in, takes him to the tournament. What were they, a 2-3 seed? They were up there, Texas.
Yeah.
I can see them fighting for the Big 12 this year. I wanted to go down a little bit in the rankings to find a team. I was looking at a couple teams. I went back and forth, but Texas is ranked 18th right now, so I think they could be I think they could push for a top seed in the tournament. And Rodney Terry looked really good last season filling in. And now he gets the full-time job, gets the contract, so he's comfortable there now. And if I could just throw out 2 other names, I'm going to go Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. You know, he finally leaves Gonzaga under Mark Few. This is going to be his 3rd season in Arizona, putting up a lot of wins in Arizona in his first 2 years. And then we're going to go to San Diego State. Brian Dutcher. They went all the way to the championship last season. They're in the Mountain West, which, you know, isn't that strong. They could run the table there. Brian Dutcher and San Diego State could be looking at a top seed. Who knows?
Maybe.
Max, give me your freshman of the year. This one might have been a little tough.
Definitely was tough. Okay, there were a lot of good freshmen out there. You know, you always hear the big time names going to Duke or going to Kentucky. I think Kentucky's got the best class, they said this year. It's how it is every single season, really is. But you know what? I'm gonna go to UNC. Okay, I have Elliott. I think it's pronounced Cadeau. Cadeau.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so he is a true point guard. Okay, this is a guy that passes the ball. Okay, he's a director on the court. Last season, UNC, because they were so selfish, they're averaging 12 assists per game. 12. Wow. That's terrible. Wow. That's terrible. This guy is going to change that. Okay. I'm looking, he's definitely going to bump those numbers up. I'm betting at least 16 assists per game coming from UNC with this guy under the center. I'm telling you right now, I think that we're going to be surprised with this guy as the point guard for UNC.
This is the first time I'm hearing of him. 6'1", out of West Orange, New Jersey. Had 6 assists in the first game already. I like that pick, Max. I like that pick. I'm interested to see him in the ACC this year. But my freshman of the year going to the Pac-12 team that we just talked about said, don't sleep on this team. Don't sleep on the USC Trojans.
Yeah.
Because Andy Enfield got a pretty good freshman class led by Isaiah Collier. Okay. This guy's a big body combo guard. He forms possibly the best backcourt in the nation with Boogie Ellis, who we mentioned as our second team.
Yeah.
He's a top 2 recruit across all the recruiting rankings, the websites. He's a top 2 recruit across all of them. He was Mr. Georgia last year, co-MVP of the McDonald's All-American game. He was the Naismith National Player of the Year, the Gatorade Georgia Player of the Year, the Max Preps Player of the Year. He's got that NBA body I'm talking about. That game against Kansas State Monday night, he had multiple and ones to start the game. Just guys hanging on him, and he's still finishing. I mean, he's a solid 6'4", 220. And you know who he reminds me of, Max? And I don't know if it's because they're both from Atlanta, but that body and that dog in him reminds me of Anthony Edwards. All right. There's some dog in Isaiah Collier, freshman guard at USC. I got him as my freshman of the year.
Great pick. This guy's a stud. All right. Was he not the number 1 pick coming, or number 1 recruit?
Depending on what website you look at, yeah, top two across the board.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun at USC this year.
Max, let's continue this prediction podcast for the college basketball season. Give me your final 4 teams, the 4 teams that are going to go to Glendale, Arizona, and play for the Final Four.
This one's tough. Okay, this is so hard because, come on, you could easily go, let's go to the top 4 teams that are the preseason.
That's easy.
That's easy. You could go that route. I will pick 2 teams right off the bat. I think Kansas, and I think Purdue. Okay, I think Purdue is deep, and Kansas is so damn. I mean, we could talk all day about Kansas. Okay, but the other 2 teams that I have that I was like, you know what, this is how the Final Fours always are. Okay, you have no idea. There's one team that you expect that will get there. Okay, and then the other 2 or 3, you're like, I wasn't expecting FAU in Miami or San Diego State last year. Are you kidding me? No way. I'm picking Arkansas. All right, Arkansas with Musselman as the coach. Okay, they beat Kansas last year. They went to an Elite 8.
Lost to UConn in the Sweet 16.
Damn it. Okay. But they have a lot of guys coming back. They did lose, I think, a player that went to the NBA.
Anthony Black, number 6.
But they also, that's it. But they also have recruits coming in, okay, or portal. Sorry, in the portal. They have some other guys that are coming from the portal. Dude, Arkansas is going to be really good. Okay, and then my other one, all right, I think it's a little redemption year. I got Texas A&M. Okay, again with Buzz Williams.
Not a buzz about Buzz.
You already brought it up early, Cobrizzi. Their top 8 scorers are coming back.
8 of 9. 8 of 9.
8 of 9. Dude, like the team is back. Okay, they had a good team last year. I know they lost in the first round, but they're a young team. They're young. They have more. They're going to have more experience here. This team could run the SEC. I wouldn't doubt it.
I like that Texas A&M pick, Max. A lot of talent coming back. So give me your 4 teams again.
We got Kansas, Purdue, Arkansas, Texas A&M.
I like it. I went a little more towards the top of the rankings. I got my Jayhawks. No surprise there. Let's just talk real quick about that contract that Bill Self just signed. Did you see that? That came public today. Bill Self just signed a big contract. It's going to make him the highest paid coach in college basketball. He passes John Calipari now.
Nice.
He's going to make $13 million this season and $53 million over the next 5 seasons.
Well earned. Okay, this is the best coach in basketball. I think in general, if even the NBA, I think Bill Self is just such a damn good coach.
Yeah, I agree. Him and John Calipari, I think, are the only 2 coaches that have lifetime deals. So Bill Self, he has a year added onto his contract after every season concludes. So he has a 5-year deal that just keeps adding 1 year every deal. Same with Calipari. I think those are the only 2 coaches that have that kind of deal. Kansas is my Final Four team, and then we got 3 different teams here, Max. I'm staying with another blue blood here. Staying with another blue blood. I'm going Duke. Okay, Tyrese Proctor comes back. Jeremy Roach, a senior in the backcourt, and of course the best player of the team, Kyle Filipowski, big dog. You got Ryan Young as a senior up front. I like the Blue Devils. John Shire in his second season. Gonna have another good recruiting class coming in. Duke's gonna be solid. My next team, going to the Big East. Not gonna be UConn. Not gonna be the defending champ Huskies. I'm going to the Marquette Golden Eagles. They returned pretty much everybody besides Olivier Maxence Prosper. He was a first-round pick for the Mavericks. To return everybody else, I like my guy Tyler Kolek, reigning Big East Player of the Year. Shaka Smart, reigning Coach of the Year. Marquette, getting knocked out in the second round last year as a 2 seed to Michigan State. They're going to want some redemption this year. They're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
My last team, I had to switch up today. I was back and forth with a few, but I'm going back to the Big 12. Okay, 2 teams out of the Big 12 conference. The Baylor Bears. Boy.
Oh, Baylor Bears. I like it. Actually, I like it. I do like it. Go ahead.
I got a lot of respect for Scott Drew. Yeah, Top 5 coach. Good. Top 5 coach. Scott Drew came out this week. He said, this is maybe the deepest team that he's ever had at Baylor. The deepest team that he's ever had at Baylor, and it might be the deepest team in the nation. That's what Scott Drew said. It was last night against Auburn. Neutral site game in South Dakota. Freshman Jacoby Walter. Let me introduce you to him. Jacoby Walter. 28 points, 6 boards, 10 of 10 from the line. It was a freshman. It was a Baylor freshman record for most points in a debut. Jacoby Walter. Going to be a name to know. I like Baylor as my 4th team going to the Final Four. So give me your 4 teams again, Max.
We have Kansas, Purdue, Arkansas, Texas, A&M.
I like it. I'm going Kansas. The only team we agree on, Duke, Marquette, and Baylor. So that leaves us with our national championship pick, Max. Who are you putting your money on? You're going to Vegas. You got 100 bones. Who are you putting your money on this season?
I got Kansas. I'm putting the money on the Kansas Rock chalk, baby. With the addition of Hunter Dickinson and the incredible coaching of Bill Self. Yeah, I can definitely see Kansas running the table, being the number. Wow. I could see them going number 1 the entire way, all the way up into the dance. They just ranked number 1. Maybe they get 1 loss and they drop to number 3, and then they get back to number 1. That's how it's going to be all year for them.
With Houston getting added to the Big 12, along with a couple other queefs, it's going to be as strong as ever, that conference. But, Max, how can I not pick my Jayhawks? Preseason number 1 to cut down the nets in Glendale, Arizona. I got them beating Duke. Who do you have Kansas taking down in the championship?
Go Boilers.
Go Boilers.
Redemption year.
Just to finish up this preseason predictions, Max. Just going back, I went back in the history books today, the archives, to see what you had to say about your Boilers after last tournament's defeat to the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights. And just because I had a feeling you're going to put them in the Final Four, they got preseason aspirations. They got a lot of expectations in West Lafayette. On March 23rd, 2023, I got a quote here from you, Max Faulkner. Until Purdue reaches a Final Four, I will never put them in the Final Four. They have to prove to me that they can make it before I start putting them in there again. So, all right, you just went against your own word. You drug Matt Painter's name through the mud. Now he's the coach of the year.
We're doing a preseason top 4 in the Final Four. We're not doing a bracket. Okay, we don't have the records all the way to the dance. All right, that is a different scenario. That is way different. Okay, because Purdue might be an 8th seed. Who knows? No. Am I going to pick them in the Final Four in March?
No way. No way.
But if they're a 1 seed, we'll think about it.
Even though you got this quote right here, until they make it, you're never going to put them in there.
We'll think about it. If they're blowing out teams, let's say they go up against Michigan State this year, blow them up by 20. They go up against Illinois, blow them up by 20. Yeah,
Kansas and Maui.
Beat Kansas and Duke and Maui, blow them up by 15. Well, it's kind of hard not to.
Last quote from you. Okay. I had my Boilers. I'm a big, fat, juicy, sweaty, gooch-filled jelly queef. End quote. Moving along with a little more college basketball talk. We want to make our first game pick of the season here, Max. And, just looking over the college basketball schedule for this first week and a half, we only got one game where a ranked team plays another ranked team. And this is going to happen on Friday night. We got the 12th ranked Wildcats, another Wildcat, this time Arizona. They're going on the road to take on the second ranked Blue Devils of Duke. This one's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Like I said, this is the only ranked matchup this whole week. So let's look at this matchup. Let's make some picks. I've talked about Duke already as my Final Four team. I like their players coming back. The senior leadership from Jeremy Roach, Kyle Filipowski, and Tyrese Proctor are both probably NBA players. I'm taking right off the bat. I'm taking Duke in this game. We mentioned Caleb Love as being a ball hog. He transfers from North Carolina. He goes to Michigan. Something happens there, and he's no longer on Michigan, so he ends up at Arizona. He's going to be ball hogging it up in Arizona. They lose, our guy Azuolas Tubelis, about 19-9 last year. They lose Kurt Kriisa, Courtney Ramey. That's three solid guys Arizona lost. Preseason number 12. Arizona still got Umar Ballo. Let's not forget about the big dog there, 7'2". Arizona's going to be solid, but they're going to lose this big-time matchup on Friday night to Duke. Are you going to disagree with me, Max?
Actually, I'm not. I do have Duke, especially on their home court. No way. You can't go against Duke on their home court.
Yeah.
Duke.
So that's going to be our first game pick of the season. We're going to be keeping track of those. Let us know what you guys think. Yeah. And 2 more game picks we're going to make on this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. We got to go to the Champions Classic. And boy, this is really the kickoff of the college basketball season. It used to be on the first week. I don't know why they moved it back to the second week now. But this year, it's going to be at the United Center in Chicago. Hey. This 4-team classic started back in 2011, still going strong. We all know it contains Duke, Michigan State, Kentucky, and Kansas. Max, let's not forget, you and I attended the 2015 Classic in Indianapolis.
Showed up late.
Showed up a little late.
Halftime.
Left the keys in the Uber. But if you remember, sorry, that was the 2014 Classic. My bad. 2014 Classic. If you remember, that was the Kentucky team with the Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, Willie Cauley-Stein, Trey Lyles, the Harrison twins. They beat Kansas down 72-40 in that game. You remember that ass beating?
Oh, I do remember that. Oh, yeah.
Back in 2014, that Kentucky team undefeated until the Final Four, until Frank the Tank took them down. But here, this season, the Champions Classic in Chicago, the first game, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Second-ranked Duke Blue Devils taking on the fourth-ranked Spartans of Michigan State, coming off that upset. 4 seniors and a junior in that starting lineup for Michigan State, Max. And, we got 2 sophomores and a freshman for Duke. So the experience is definitely on Michigan State's side. But Tom Izzo says he doesn't have any leadership. I'm going Duke. I'm going the Blue Devils. More talent, more NBA players, I think more size also. I'm going Duke.
I like the pick, but you know what? I'm gonna spice it up here in the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast.
Give me something spicy.
I'm going Michigan State. Okay, I'm going Michigan State. Duke has a tough matchup against Arizona. Okay, wears them out a little bit, and Michigan State's going to figure some shit out before that game. Okay, Michigan State plays better against better teams. They don't. What pisses me off is that they'll definitely stoop down to the level of
James Madison.
Okay, but then when you're going up against Duke, it's good. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another overtime game. So I'm going Michigan State. They need some redemption. They can't be going down 1-2, they can't be doing that this early in the year. I don't think so.
I like the pick, Max. I'm glad we differed there. The second game of the doubleheader here. It's going to start 30 minutes after the conclusion of the first one. Also on ESPN, the preseason number 1. Jayhawks of Kansas. They're going to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. I'm looking at this Kentucky lineup. I see 2 freshmen, a sophomore in the starting lineup. I see they go 6'8", 6'8", 6'9". That's not going to be anything for 7'2", 260-pound Hunter Dickinson.
Might be quicker. It could
Might
be
be
quicker
quicker.
though.
Dickinson's going to have a big game along with my guy, DeJuan Harris. Kansas is winning this game. Kentucky ain't ready for this.
Nah, too young. Too young, and an experienced team with Kansas, especially with the leadership of Dickinson. Go Kansas.
I like it, Max. All right, that concludes our college basketball talk for this week. Oh my goodness, that was a good
I'm
amount.
sweaty.
That was
I
a good
am
amount.
sweaty. I felt like I just played a full game.
That's a podcast all by itself right there. But if you're still sticking around with us, we're going to talk a little NFL to finish us up here.
Let's go.
Let's get in to our Week 10 NFL slate. Make our juicy game picks, Max. Starting off on Thursday night, tomorrow night, Prime Video. I don't know why this is a prime time video, but the 1-7 Carolina Panthers. They lost by 2 touchdowns last week to the Colts. They're going on the road to take on the Bears, who are 2-7. They only lost by a tutty at the Saints. But what's that really saying? I'm going the Bears at home. This is a toss-up. This is a shitty-ass game. Neither team deserves a win. You got to pick one. I'm going Bears. I'm not watching this.
I'm going Bears at home. This is like the worst game of the season. The two worst teams facing each other. Who cares? Let's move on.
Sunday morning. Got another morning game over in Germany. 7:30. 7:30 out here in Colorado. Got the 4-5 Colts. They snapped their 3-game losing streak last week at Carolina. They're going to take on the Patriots. They're sitting at 2-7. They've lost 2 in a row. They've lost 5 of 6. And they lost they lost last week by 3 to the Washington Football Queefs. I don't know where to go here, Max. Where are you going?
I'm going the Colts.
Are you?
I'm going the Colts. I think the Patriots just suck.
I think the Patriots suck. I think Ramondre Stevenson's coming pretty relevant.
Oh, I thought he was Blamandre. Blamandre.
Running back 9 over the last month. Running back 9 over the last month.
It was about time he woke up, no doubt.
And guess what? He's going to keep running over there in Germany. He's going to take down the Colts. It's going to be Jonathan Taylor and Ramondre both running a lot. Patriots, Bill Belichick. He's going to get this one done. He's going to get this one done.
All right.
Moving in the morning games on Sunday, the 3-5 Tennessee Titans. They've lost 3 out of 4. Going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're sitting at 3-5. They lost that shootout last week in Houston. They've lost 4 in a row and 5 of 6. Both teams underperforming. Where are you going here?
Oh, let's go Titans. Come on. Let's go Titans. It's not, wake up. They're not out of it yet. We keep bringing, I swear we've been saying that for the past 3 weeks now. They're not out of it yet. Wake up. You have a good quarterback now. Give the ball to DeAndre Hopkins and Derrick Henry, and you have something going.
Thank you, Max. I'm going Titans with you. Mike Vrabel came out this week and said Ryan Tannehill is the backup. Will Levis is the starter.
That's exactly what should be happening.
Yeah. We got the 4-4 Houston Texans going on the road to take on the 5-3 Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, they've woken up, 4-game win streak. After starting 1-3, their last 3 wins are over Buffalo, at San Francisco, and Seattle. Those are 3 solid wins by the Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to keep it rolling here against Houston, Max.
Oh, yeah. Don't sleep on Houston, especially after a career day from C.J. Stroud, 470 yards, 5 touchdowns. What a beast. What a beast. That's awesome. I love seeing it. But no way. No way. Not going to Cincinnati. I think it could be a closer game than we think, but Bengals.
I'm glad you brought up C.J. Stroud. That was a rookie record, 470 passing yards. He tied a rookie record with those 5 passing tutties, and he set the rookie record for most fantasy points from a quarterback.
Amazing.
That was a hell of a game from him. Hell of a comeback, shootout. It looks like Carolina fucked up big time on that pick.
Yeah.
Picking Bryce Young right now.
Yeah.
Fucked up big time. Next game, we got a juicy one between 2 5-4 teams. The New Orleans Saints going on the road to take on the Vikings of Minnesota. The Saints, they've won 2 in a row, but they've just been over the Bears and the Colts. Not really impressive. The Vikings have won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Starting out 0-3 and 1-4. Joshua Dobbs comes in. Jaron Hall got a concussion, the rookie quarterback from Minnesota. Joshua Dobbs comes in, leads up to a big comeback over Atlanta. Do you see that continuing here, Max?
Oh man, this is one of the toughest picks, I swear.
Toss up.
Minnesota, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. But you know what? I am still gonna go with the Saints because of the defense. I am
Hey.
gonna go with because of that defense.
Yep.
It might be a 21-19 kind of game.
Yeah, yeah. That's the over under is 40.5. So that's right on the money there, Max. Good call on that. I'm with you there. I got the Saints. No Justin Jefferson, his 21-day window to play from the IR was activated today, but no way is he playing. Cam Akers tore his other Achilles. He's
Oh,
out.
jeez.
Kirk Cousins obviously coming off that torn Achilles. I'm going Saints on the road too. They're still my pick there in the NFC South. I'm rolling with the Saints. Another one here in the morning games on Sunday. We got the 3-5 Packers. They beat the Rams last week. The Brett Rippin led Rams to end their 4-game losing streak. Now they're going to Pittsburgh, take on the Steelers. They beat Tennessee last Thursday. They've won 3 out of 4. They got a little extra rest here. Taking the Steelers at home.
Steelers easy. The defense looks great right now, and Jordan Love's got nothing on the Steelers defense.
Next up, we got possibly the juiciest game of the week. Oh boy, I hope it's on TV.
Please, please.
Both teams are actually coming off bye weeks, so they've both had an extra week to prepare for this one. Should be well rested, game plans ready to go. We got the 5-3 San Francisco 49ers going down to Jacksonville. The Jaguars are sitting at 6-2. 49ers, 3 losses in a row, Max. After that 5-0 start, we all thought they were world beaters. 3 losses in a row. The Jaguars, winners of 5 straight after starting 1-2. Jaguars are hot. Do you see it continuing here?
I'm picking the Jaguars. I do think it keeps on rolling here. I think the Jaguars have something special. Just
Special.
This is something special. Travis Etienne is something special. Trevor Lawrence and Christian
I'll give
Kirk.
you that. I'll give
Christian,
you Etienne.
Yeah. Christian Kirk is underrated, by the way. I'm telling you right now. Something special there. Okay, that's all I got to say. But it's going to be a good game. It'll be a great game. But let's go Jags.
This is going to be a great game. 2 great coaches here. Maybe top 5 coaches in the NFL. I don't know. Top 10 for sure.
At least.
I'm going 49ers on the road. Those 3 losses in a row, I think they might have figured something out. Got a little healthier over the bye. Maybe Debo comes back. Who knows? I'm going 49ers on the road. Another juicy one. The last game of the morning slate in the AFC North. The 5-3 Cleveland Browns taking on the 7-2 Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have won 4 in a row. They just beat the shit out of the Seahawks last week, 37-3.
What a disappointment that game, by the way. It was on TV. I was so excited, and I was like, what the hell is this? Nope. And it also pissed you off for fantasy reasons. Like if you had Lamar Jackson or Zay Flowers,
didn't do nothing.
They didn't even do anything. They scored 37 points off of like garbage.
Ran all over them. All over them. So
annoying.
The Browns, they've actually won 3 out of 4 after goosing Arizona last week, beat the shit out of them. This is a rematch. This is the second time these 2 teams have played. They played in week 4 at Cleveland. It was a beatdown 28-3 from the Ravens. I see a similar result right now. Baltimore Ravens are looking like a Super Bowl contender. I'm taking them at home over the Browns.
I think it's going to be a closer game than it was originally because I think the Browns defense is really good, but I agree. At home, Baltimore, I got Baltimore, baby.
Moving into the afternoon games here on Sunday, we got 4 games in the slot. First up, the 4-5 Atlanta Falcons. They disappointed us last week. They're losers of 2 straight and 3 out of the last 4. Going to Arizona, Cardinals are 1-8. I don't think I've picked Arizona once this year. I think they're probably the worst team in the NFL. Atlanta gets it done on the road. You got Bijan having a big game here?
I think so. Bijan needs to wake up. They need to use him. Use him. Why are you not using your best? Are you guys not trying to get to the playoffs? That's why you're losing.
Number 8 overall. You're not
using.
Number 8 overall pick, and just sitting there watching like us.
I definitely got the Falcons. The Cardinals definitely tanked.
Yeah. The next game here, another juicy one, maybe the runner-up for juiciest game of the week.
This is good.
The 6-2 Detroit Lions, they're coming off a bye, winners of 5 of their last 6. They're going to LA, take on the Chargers, sitting at 4-4. The Chargers this year, inconsistent, Max. They lost 2 in a row to start, then they won 2 in a row, then they lost 2 in a row. Now they've won 2 in a row. They're not winning this one. They're on a short week. They played Monday night. Detroit's coming off a bye. I'm going Lions, baby.
I like the pick, but I'm going the Chargers. I have faith
You
in
can't
Justin
give up your
Herbert.
love.
I
Can't give up
can't.
your love for LA, baby.
Fuck LA. I like Justin Herbert and the fact that Keenan Allen's having another huge season, 10,000 receiving yards, second all time on the Chargers organization. You got to love that between those two. How about we get him in the damn end zone though? Stop throwing the damn ball to Austin Eckler constantly. How many times they throw the ball to Eckler, and how many times I saw him drop it on Monday night? Is like, throw it to your wide receivers, damn it.
That catch that Keenan Allen made for
Woo.
that 10,000th yard. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that
Over
is
the
why you
shoulder.
throw it to your wide receivers. That's why you throw it to one of the best in the game. Damn it.
That was literally a jaw dropper. I was
Yeah.
I was stunned. I was
Yeah.
stunned on that catch. Moving along here, we got an NFC East matchup. The 2-7 New York Giants, who are just depleted. Just sorry, they're going to be going for the #1 pick. Also, they're going to Dallas, take on the 5-3 Cowboys. The Giants, they just got their ass beat last week by the Raiders, 30-6. Tommy DeVito is going to be starting. You going to take the Giants?
No way, man. No way. Definitely going the Cowboys. If you have the Cowboys defense, you better be starting them. There might be 10
Oh
sacks
God,
for you. Might be
might
10
trade for
sacks for you.
might trade you for the Cowboys defense this week.
For ETN? ETN?
No way.
Yeah. New York Giants, they just lost Danny Dimes. I said it in the beginning of the season that Danny Dimes
Queef.
sucks.
Queef.
Before he even,
Good
he's a
call.
queef. He's
Good
a queef.
call.
Yeah.
Good call.
So Danny DeVito or Tommy DeVito. Is he related to Danny DeVito? I'm wondering.
I think it's a nephew.
Yeah. Cowboys.
Cowboys. Last game in the afternoon slot on Sunday. The 4-5 Washington Commanders, coming off a field goal win at New England last week, going up north, the Northwest, take on the Seattle Seahawks. They're sitting at 5-3, coming off that ass beating of the Ravens last week. Are they going to turn it around at home, Max?
Yeah, they better. They better figure it out, and they better give the ball to Kenneth Walker. Why is he only getting 8-9 touches? It's because they were losing by freaking 40 or whatever. That was such a disappointment. But yeah, they're going to get it done against Washington.
It's a good matchup for the receivers, a good matchup for Geno. I think the Seahawks get this one done at home. Moving into Sunday night prime time on NBC, baby. We have not been waiting for this one all day. This one's gonna fucking suck. The 4-4 New York Jets going to Vegas. Raiders in prime time again for some reason. They're sitting at 4-5, a little better than we might expect. The Jets, they lost 27-6 last week on Monday night. After a 3-game winning streak. The Jets were on a 3-game winning streak going into last week, surprisingly. The Raiders just beat the shit out of the Giants. I don't think Zach Wilson can get this one done. I'm going Raiders at home.
Ooh, I like it. I really like it. Did the Raiders figure something out by starting Aiden O'Connell? Okay.
One game.
Don't look now. Don't look now. But Josh Jacobs is a top 5 running back in our fantasy football league. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
I cannot.
I can because Josh Jacobs is the man. You know what? I've been back and forth on this. I'm going to Raiders. I'm going the Raiders on this as well. I like what they did last week. I hope Aiden O'Connell can get a couple touchdowns to Josh Jacobs, not Devontae Adams, but Josh Jacobs.
I think I'm sitting Garrett Wilson this week. He's my keeper. I think he's going to be on my bench this week. It's not enough touchdowns. The Jets can't score.
It's so disappointing.
Moving into Monday night, the last game on the Week 10 slate, prime time on ESPN. Monday Night Football, the Denver Broncos sitting at 3-5, coming off a bye week, coming off wins over the Chiefs and the Packers going into that bye week. The Broncos are picking up a little steam here with Russell 2 poops a week Wilson. Do you see them going to Buffalo on Monday night? The Bills are 5-4. They're coming off that Sunday Night Football loss to the Bengals last week. Do you see the Denver Broncos being well rested, having an extra week to prepare for this thing, taking down Josh Allen in Buffalo?
No, definitely not. Okay, Buffalo, they need to wake up, and if you lose to Denver, then I've given up all faith.
Go Broncos.
I've given up all faith. You're picking the Broncos.
No. Just give them a little more respect. I just want to give them a little respect. Shout them out for a 2-game win streak. Sitting at 3-5, might be picking up some steam. But Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, you guys are both queefs.
Definitely a terrible season.
Max, last segment for this week of the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast. let's get into our week 10 extra juicy dogs.
Yeah.
Give me your quarterback for this week, Max.
Oh, baby, baby. He has woken up from the grave. I got Joe Burrow taking on
Burrow.
Houston at home. Houston is ranked 17th against quarterbacks, but let me tell you right now, okay? Joe Burrow in his last two games against San Francisco, which is a top defense, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 43 rushing yards. That's 27.3 fantasy points. Last week against Buffalo, another top defense, he had 348 yards, 2 touchdowns, 24.4 fantasy points. He's back, baby. He's back. He's in my starting lineup. Cannot wait for it. Let's go, Joe Burrow.
Starting him over Tua. Tua's on bye.
Well, he's on bye. Yeah.
Good call on that, Max. You know, you mentioned those 43 yards. I think that was the game he took off on a long, I think it was a designed run call on a 3rd and long. And, you know, the calf's looking better and 4-game win streak. Bengals are really picking up steam. I like the pick. My extra juicy quarterback for week 10. It's going to be Josh Allen. We just talked about him playing the Denver Broncos on Monday night. I think you'd be surprised to hear that he's quarterback 1 in fantasy. Quarterback nice. 1 in fantasy. I'm surprised to see that.
I'm not surprised. He's got 6 touchdowns or 6 rushing touchdowms. Sorry.
That was my next stat. 6 rushing touchdowns over the last 7 games. 6 over the last 7. I almost gonna call one here. I almost guaranteed it, but I'm not. The Bills, they're 7.5-point home favorites over those Broncos. 47-point over-under is the 3rd highest on the week. Denver, they're 28th against quarterbacks. Fire up Josh Allen. This could be easily a 3 passing touchdown and a sneak. Could have 4 tutties on Monday night. Gonna beat down the Broncos.
Yeah.
Max, give me your extra juicy dog at the running back position for week 10.
All right. He has also woken up from the grave. I'm staying in Cincinnati. I got Joe Mixon, baby. Joe Mixon taking on Houston. Houston is ranked back-to-back Bengals, baby. Houston is ranked 21 against the run. Past couple games, Joe Mixon had 87 yards, a touchdown, 3 catches for 23 receiving yards. That's 18.5 fantasy points. Last week, he had 37 rushing yards with a touchdown, 5 catches for 31 receiving yards. That's 15.3 fantasy points. I'm calling on my buddy, Mr. Tutty, this week. Baby. He's getting 3 in a row. I'm calling. I want to be specific. Okay. Either way, if he scores a touchdown, it still counts. But I think he's going to catch one from Joe Burrow this weekend. I can't wait for it.
I like the call, Max. Joe Mixon. I mean, if Joe Burrow and the Bengals are heating up, that probably means Joe Mixon's heating up. I see more utilization for him, more volume for him moving forward. I like the pick. He might be a trade for candidate. Who knows? My extra juicy dog at the running back position, I'm going to Dallas. I'm taking Tony Pollard here. Now, a lot of people might be disappointed in Tony Pollard this season, but he's running back 18 in full PPR scoring. He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1. Tony Pollard hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1, boys and girls. But this week, Max, 16.5-point home favorites over the Giants. 16.5-point home favorites. You know what that means. That's a my buddy, Mr. Tutty guarantee for Tony Pollard this week. The New York Giants, they're 27th against running backs. The Giants suck. They're hurt. Nobody's playing for the Giants. We got a my buddy, Mr. Tutty, for Tony Pollard.
I love it.
All right. Give me your extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position for week 10.
All right. Extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position. Okay. So we're definitely disappointed with the Seattle Seahawks and their passing game right now. And as far as the wide receivers go, but I am going to go with Geno Smith's favorite option. And that's Tyler Lockett. You were probably thinking DK Metcalf, everybody. You probably were thinking DK, but it's definitely Tyler Lockett. Okay. For some reason, Tyler Lockett's open more because DK gets double teamed, triple teamed, it seems like. So Tyler Lockett's wide open. I am calling him my buddy, Mr. Tutty, with Tyler Lockett. It's been far too long. Geno Smith has been playing like crap. Okay. And they got to figure it out how to get that ball in the end zone. I'm calling him my buddy, Mr. Tutty, with Tyler Lockett taking on Washington. Washington is ranked 30th against wide receivers. I think this is a good play this week for Seattle.
I think it's a good play too, but you're going to call me crazy. I got Tyler Lockett on my bench right now. I just took him out. Earlier today, I got D-Hop and Brandon Ayuk in there right now for my receivers. And I even got Garrett Wilson on my bench. 4 solid receivers.
Yeah.
but not that ceiling guy, just 4 kind of wide receiver 2s.
Yeah. Yeah.
My extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position. I'm going to Detroit, coming off a bye. Amon-Ra St. Brown, baby. In points per game, he is wide receiver 6. Full PPR points per game, wide receiver 6. He has 100 yards in 3 straight games. His 48 this game, the Chargers Lions, very juicy. 48.5 point over under. That's the highest on the week. He's fresh, coming off that bye. 3 touchdowns in the season. It's not enough, Max. I'm right behind you. My buddy, Mr. Tutty. Amon-Ra St. Brown getting in the end zone. Week 10 against the Chargers. Who's your extra juicy dog at the tight end position?
All right, extra juicy dog going to the tight end. Okay, I know you picked him last week. I'm going to him this week.
Oh, Dalton, my goodness.
Golds, not Dalton Kincaid. I thought about it. I thought about
3 in a row.
I thought about 3 in a row. Dude, Dalton Kincaid, really quick, everybody. Dalton Kincaid had 10 catches on 11 targets last week, 81 yards, and he was this close, a nipple pinch away from potentially 2 touchdowns. Okay. He got stopped right there on like the 4 or 5 yard line. Okay, but let's go to the guy that I actually picked this week. Dalton Schultz, baby, going against Cincinnati, the same team that was facing Dalton Kincaid last week, where Dalton Kincaid had 10 catches once again. Cincinnati's ranked 32nd, dead last against tight end. Dalton Schultz last week had 10 catches as well for 110 yards and a touchdown. That's 23 fantasy points. He's not going to be on your free agent waiver wire anymore, anybody. He's definitely in a starting lineup. You took too long, including myself. Okay. Yeah. Well, I got Dalton Kincaid, so I'm good. But I'm not guaranteeing a touchdown, but I'm not guaranteeing it. But because Cincinnati is getting red hot, but I think it's going to be a really big game for him.
I like the pick of Dalton Schultz. Like you said, he was my extra juicy tight end last week. I couldn't guarantee that touchdown. Damn it, I should have. But yeah, Cincinnati, you can beat him with the tight end. Going to my extra juicy dog at the tight end position. We've talked about him a little bit on this podcast. We got a love-hate relationship with this guy, Taysom Hill, New Orleans Saints.
Yeah,
Taysom Hill is my extra juicy tight end for week 10. He's actually tight end 9 on the season. 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games. 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games. Last week against Chicago, he caught a touchdown. He threw one. And he also had 11 carries as a running back. He played 3 positions. He played 3 positions last week. He's such a threat in that red zone on the goal line. Such a threat. They're slight road favorites in Minnesota. This should be a pretty good game. It's a toss-up game. Gonna need Taysom Hill to have some touches.
Yeah, we said it before that Taysom Hill is basically a cheat code, right? Where it's like, come on, he's in the tight end position, but he plays quarterback and he plays running back. You're like, wait, come on, the hell?
Yeah, I mean, if it continues, I don't know how he's not more of a target in drafts. How did he go undrafted if he's playing 3 positions and he's only listed as a tight end, which is a position that you get goosed at.
Yep.
Why is this guy not more valuable?
Yeah. We said it before, everybody. Taysom Hill is, especially fantasy purposes, it's a guy that pisses you off unless he's on your fantasy team.
Yeah. And this year he's on mine, baby. Thank you, Taysom.
Yeah, you didn't want to deal with that last year. No, you didn't want to deal with any of that juju.
Nope. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for sticking with us today. This was a juicy episode. We were looking forward to this one. Our college basketball predictions. The season's heating up with that Champions Classic next week. Maui Invitational is going to follow soon after that. And the NFL, it's in week 10, Max. Fantasy football leagues, playoff races are shaping up. Got to make some moves if you're on a losing streak right now. The trade deadline in fantasy leagues is approaching. What do you have for the people before we get out of here?
Oh, everybody, thank you for sticking with us. I know it was a long one. We had a lot to talk about today. College basketball. Oh, my goodness. We could talk all day. I could
My
talk all
favorite.
night about that. I could wake up in the morning. My wife would be waking up for work, and I'd be, oh wait, what? Oh, sorry, we're just finishing up on Purdue.
Boilers.
Yeah, boilers. What? So thank you for everyone for coming out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know how you liked our show. Please also, we are located on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Twitter. If you can, please, we would love to hear from you guys as well on that. And as far as this goes, Cobrazy, I think we should end this with a little bit of dancing.
Oh, hey, it's a smooth beat. It's a smooth beat.
I like it.